lots of rumors, and one big one that came out over the weekend was the fact that the Pacers are looking to move off Malcolm Brogdon and Miles Turner. So with those two guys, obviously everyone knows that Brogdon was a big piece that the Pacers were trying to sell last year to get Ben Simmons. They were going to try to package him with some other guys to get Simmons. And a lot of Sixers fans were a fan of the idea of getting Brogdon last year, and still some would like us to try to trade for Brogdon. I don't know the contract situation. I think, Teja, you probably looked at the numbers there, but for Brogdon. But some fans are saying that Brogdon could be a 1-2-3 kind of player. He could play a little bit of three, like a small ball three, and he could also be a six-man. What do you guys think of the potential fit of a Malcolm Brogdon in Philadelphia? Could that be someone we could go to, or what do you guys think about that?
I like Malcolm Brogdon. I think that he's a 1-2 for you. Nice size. I don't think he's a full-time three, but he's a guy that you can put in there as a third primary ball handler. You can play him with Maxey and James. It's just a matter of how much and who the opponent is. But I like what he brings to the table. He can make a shot. He can make plays. He can solid defender. I still think it just comes down to who we're moving him for. But, I mean, if you can, I think he's worth looking into. And, a lot of things we talked about with Danny's salary and a pick. And I think if we're trying to win right now, that's a guy that I think he can definitely help us win.
Yeah, Teja, what do you think about Brogdon?
Totally. I agree on the 1 and 2 thing. So I've got into it with a couple of our listeners over whether or not Dort can play a three. I know, you and I, Eric, had a little thing about that last week too. So if I think Dort could play a three at 6'3", then I naturally
so the listeners didn't think he could play three or not. Like, whose side?
You're right. I didn't fully commit to that. I said based on what we've seen, I think he could play three for us. So I'm playing like the really political way here, going both ways. But I mean, Brogdon's 6'5". That's not small, right? He plays 1 and 2. I don't really see him guard the bigger wings on teams, and not that I watch all of his games, but from what I've seen, it looks like he usually sits on the 1 or 2. But he's a really good defender. He's got a good catch and shoot. I mean, he does check those boxes, right? I mean, how tall is Danny? 6'5", 6'6"?
He's around Danny's height.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't. He can even handle the ball. He could be a point guard on the second unit if we need him to be. So he's got versatility, and he can maybe play the three. I mean,
it gives us. I think it gives us flexibility.
Yeah,
for sure. With Teja's favorite player, Thibault. Based on how he's playing, or how he, his return this season, how he comes back if he's with us. Having a guy like Malcolm kind of gives you that same versatility that Danny did, but it's a little different. He's a different player than Danny, but it still gives you that versatility to add a guy at the 2, 3, and with him, he can either be the 1.
Yeah.
So I like it a lot. I just, I think that he's a starter. We talked about a lot of guys coming in, but I think he's a guy that's a starter, and it's just whether you want to start him at the 2 or the 3. I mean, is this a guy that I don't know if he's that type of player that pushes Maxey to the 6-man role, because I don't know if his best skill set fits in that mold. But with our team, it may be a 3. I just think I just never really seen him as a full-time 3. I didn't look at him like that, but it's possible. But I definitely like him.
Yeah, I didn't think so either at first, but then when I thought about it, I was like, you know what? I mean, you'd be experimenting with it a bit because I think it is out of position for what he's used to, but he's a smart player. He's a good defender. His 3-pointer was down last year. He's down to 31%. That's his lowest, I believe, even since he was a rookie. His career.
He'll get more clean looks with us, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he would. Before that, he was 39%.
So if I don't remember exactly what position was his primary position when he was with the Bucks? Was Giannis handling the ball that much then?
I think he was just splitting off 1 and 2. I don't think
because he was rookie of the year, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was the famous. That was the whatchamacallit year, wasn't it?
Wasn't the Embiid year?
Yep. That's right. Yep. I mean, the only thing I'd be a little worried about, we're already getting killed in the boards, and it would be, I wouldn't say an undersized 3, but it's definitely not a big 3 by any means. 6'5" is not huge.
I mean, we kind of talking sideways because we're saying he's an undersized 3, but he's the same size as Danny.
Yeah, but we got killed in the boards with Danny.
Yes. So is that more 3 or more 4? Is it Tobias is an undersized 4 or like? And Tobias to me is a solid rebounder. I think it has to. I think it has to be a collective thing. I don't think you can just point to a 3 and be like, "Hey, we need a 3 that's going to rebound," because at the end of the day, we need a 3 that's going to make plays and make shots. Yep. That's the priority.
Yeah, and he's a well-built guy. He's 6'5" to almost 230. Like he's not small by any means. You know, he's well built. I don't think he gets.
I think he can pull it off. I wasn't really envisioning him as a 3.
Yeah,
but I do think that he fits and it could work.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he could definitely groom into a definite Danny Green, but with handles. So I don't think that's.
I just, if I had a concern about it, my concern would be more of putting a guy, excuse me, that has, for the most of his career, been somewhat of a ball handler into basically now almost strictly catch and shoot role.
Yeah.
That would be my concern more than his size. Unless, like I said, they're going to come and now they're going to have 3 guys basically handle the ball, which can be done.
Yeah, it would take a little pressure off both Harden and Maxey. But, you know, when you start after the first 5 or 6 minutes, you're switching up lineups all the time. They could just see what works best.
Yeah. I mean, I do know from when I played with the Sixers, and obviously it was a long time ago, our best lineup was myself, AI, and Aaron. And all of us can handle the ball. Yeah. So any one of us could initiate the offense. And Coach Brown wanted it like that because at the end of the game, he always wanted guys that initiate the offense and make free throws. So we had, basically we could run any kind of play. It kind of opened up things for us. So I almost see it like that, even though they don't have an AI. We didn't have James, but I understand why coaches would want to do it. I just don't know if that's how you start. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's your starting lineup, but I know you can definitely finish like that.
Mm-hmm. And Aaron was around 6'5", right? 6'5"? Yeah. Actually, Brogdon's kind of Aaron McKee-ish, isn't he?
Yeah.
A taller ball handler, good shooter, not a weak defender by any means. Like he didn't back down. It wasn't, again, you're right. It wasn't ideal. But yeah, I think it could work. His salary is $22 million. He's on his last year coming up. So they're trying to do that because they don't expect on signing him. He's a little older than I thought. He's 29 and going to be 30.
He's I believe he was a 4-year college guy.
Yeah. I think he played all
that makes sense.
4 years at UVA.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I mean, he fits with the timeline. You give him like you get him and give him like a 2-3 year deal along with what you're doing, possibly with Harden and with Embiid's timeline. I don't see. And again, I think as he gets a little older, maybe he will have to take on more of like a Danny Green type role eventually when he gets into his start entering his mid-30s. He might have to be just a 3 and play a little bigger. So maybe this would be good for him too. Yeah. And let me just take a moment here. Okay. I'm going to apologize. Okay. Maybe I, along with a bunch of Philly fans, I know there are a lot of them out there. I think you know what I'm about to say. Maybe we were a little reactionary on Matisse. I've had time to really think about it. I've had time to really soul search with Matisse.
Where is this coming from?
I just when you're thinking about trading this guy, trading that guy in and out, I just think I think I was being too hard on him. I think I was being too hard on him for a while now, and I saw him admit that he himself didn't feel like he could get his groove back after Toronto. And I feel like I forgot a little more of his pluses and pluses because of the playoffs. The playoffs can do bad things for you. We saw with Simmons. Simmons pretty much playoffs let him unravel his career. So playoffs can do bad things for you, man. So I have to tell you that your experience. But I'm willing to see it through with Matisse here. And I think he would be a good compliment for a guy like Brogdon. I think it'd be good to have both those guys in there. You have bigger lineups.
All I said was
You made the Matisse comment.
But you say you're looking at it. We're that's what he's supposed to be. So why give up on? Why go get something when he's supposed to be that guy? At least let's play this out.
Now, I'd still be willing. I'm going to play both sides here. I'd still be willing if I woke up and saw he was included in a deal for the right player. I wouldn't be that upset. But I also don't want to just. I mean, that's everyone. I mean, that's what the old saying goes. Like everyone, it's a trade for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Except for
like if Thibault was included in the Brogdon deal with like Danny and like Furk, I wouldn't be that mad. I wouldn't. I really. I see Marcus's face. He doesn't agree. Really, if you woke up tomorrow and you saw we traded, or we're gonna trade the first Danny, which is basically gone, Furk and Thibault, you'd be upset.
I feel like that's a lot. I mean, just based on for Christian Wood go for last week, a first rounder, and then a bunch of like a bag of chips for Christian Wood, and we're trading Thibault and a first and Danny Green. I thought it's a lot. And
right, it is a lot. I'm just trying to make it work contractually too, because Danny's 10, Furk's 5. That's not enough. You need like one guy that makes like at least like 3 or 4. Thibault makes 4, so they can make it work with someone else. And absolutely, but
what's Brogdon's contract situation? I meant to ask that. What is his contract?
He makes 22. He's gonna make 22.5 this upcoming year. It's a little out of the range. But they make things work. So who knows? That's their job to do that. But
cash consideration.
I don't know I used to. It all changed as far as the percentage of a trade. How much above? We can take on a little more, as I saw Brian Toberek's article recently. Either 10 or 20%. I'm not sure at a certain amount. I remember when I was a vice president in the union, I remember all that, but now it's changed, so I don't know the exact amount now.
Yeah. So we take on a little more. I think we'd probably have to get up to like the outgoing. I think we'd have to get up to the 18, 19 range, which we're not far off with Furk and Danny. That's 15. Shake makes like 1.8, so I don't think that still wouldn't get us there. I think we'd be close. But you're right though with the Christian Wood thing. Who knows now? I mean, it's all out the window now. I never thought they would trade that for Wood, but so
I mean they traded reserves.
Yeah, Trey Burke, Boban, and Marquise Chris, and the 26th for Wood. So it's like 23, 3 higher, and then Danny Green's. You're not doing it for the player at this point. You're doing it for the contract, right? They're doing it for the pick. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what kind of threw me off because I think you and I have talked about Christian Wood in the past. That could be if we're gonna move off Tobias. I mean, that'd be a good guy to go and get, but
would have been at
this point. But yeah, I'm happy to see you came around on the Matisse. You took what Eric said last week.
Come on, I didn't want to trade him for peanuts. I just feel like I feel like my reputation on the show is like the anti-Matisse guy, and I want to clear the record up. I'm not anti.
You also got torn to shreds in the comments about Dort playing 3. People were with you on that, Eric. People didn't like Dort playing 3. A lot of the comments did not like.
Well, 1 or 2 guys. I wouldn't say everybody.
There was quite a few.
Yeah, but that same guy wants Barton to be our starting 3, and Barton weighs what my big gulp weighs. I mean, come on now, come on, like Barton's not going to guard a LeBron.
Barton fits the role better, though.
Yep.
Well,
what are you looking for? Are you looking for an ISO score? Or are you looking for a guy who can play defense?
You're looking for a guy that can catch and shoot.
Is that Barton? Is Barton
catch and shoot and play defense for that role? I'm not saying sometimes you got a star in your role. It's not necessarily the best player. It's like the starring in that role.
I agree with that, but
because Barton has played. The one thing he has done is he's played with a primary big that's your best player.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I think he would have been on the bench and as a 6th man if they had all their guys healthy. He only started because.
But even when they were healthy, he still played a lot.
Yeah,
he was a primary player. He was a primary player because he was their 2 guard when with Murray.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing the most. I don't know if he started all the time, but he was playing a great deal. I'm not saying
he plays a lot. No matter bench or starter, he plays around 30 minutes.
I'm just saying I think he would star in that role better.
He's not really a catch and shoot space. He's an ISO scorer, though. 5 ISO scorers starting, all 5 ISO scorers. I just don't.
Yeah, the ISO score doesn't matter if you can catch and shoot.
Yeah, but I think Dort only shot.
If you can still catch and shoot, ISO it doesn't matter if you're an ISO scorer. Sometimes it helps you that you're an ISO scorer.
Dort shot.
I think it hurts us if he struggles to catch and shoot, because the majority of his shots are going to come that way. But it's not going to hurt us to have an additional guy that can catch the ball and make a play.
They averaged around the same points last year, and I think Dort shot 8 threes a game, which was top 10 per game, and he only shot, I think, 3% less than him. So it's not like Dort was a bad shooter.
I'm just looking at the NBA Finals, and what I see in most people that Steph Curry get everybody thinking like, oh, this team is just they're just 3-point shooting team, and that's all you see. But what you see is multiple guys that can make plays off the bounce from that team is what they really don't talk about.
And defensive versatility, though.
Yes.
And Barton can not really do that. So
I'm just saying so to have that, like, I'm just saying from the standpoint, it doesn't really hurt to have a guy that can catch and shoot and also make a play.
No, I don't think it's bad to have that. I just think with the amount of offensive firepower we have around them, I'd rather be, like I've always said, give me Matisse with like 3% more on the 3-point percentage, and I'd be a very happy man.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily against saying that, he would be better than Dort. I'm just saying that I kind of understand why people say that, because you're looking more at the role more so than the player. That's all I'm saying.
Like, I think Dort would be a better 6th man for us. I think he would excel at that role.
Well, you think Dort would be a better at anything?
Did I say Dort? No, I said Barton would be a better. I think Barton would be a better 6th.
You got Dort in mind, man.
I know. I'm Dorton. New thing. No, I think Barton would be a better 6th man. You just let him kind of like do his thing, go off and streak shoot. I think Dort would be better because he's more of a complimentary guy. You'd be like, you see that player over there? Lock him down all game. And when we give you open shots, try to hit a couple of them, because with Maxey,
and I agree with you on Dort in that role. And all I'm saying is, I would rather keep the guy we have, because I don't think that you're getting as much.
He's that much better than him.
That much better, especially in that role. I don't think he's going to be that much better.
Yeah. I want more percent. I'm not going to talk about Thibault again. My Thibault. My Thibault feelings.
I will say so. Last year, Barton actually had he was kind of disgruntled with the team last year because he wanted to be in the starting lineup. He didn't want to come off the bench anymore. That was last year. This year, he played more of a starting role because of
he played a lot this year.
Oh yeah, he did.